strategy. So you said that, you know, the other team was playing the hyper carry. We went with our typical 1-2. So maybe you guys can, you know, open that up a little bit for some of the viewers that might not be aware of that, you know, meta. How is that meta stronger than the hyper carry, and why is it more relevant after this patch?
Well, you know, first of all, I think the most important thing is that we mentioned it in day one that the patch itself has kind of helped out mid-majors to kind of become more relevant, because the previous meta, it was all about support gap, man. Whoever had the better support, whoever could hold on to their role better than the others, always the best.
Right. Now, you know what? Right now, we're going to be taking a look at the top picks here. Contra, what do we got?
Well, first, we're looking at the top picks for Resurgence right here with pretty high win rates on that Kufra as well as Hamas whenever he goes for those sort of pickups right there. LY4, of course, his main sort of pick is always going to be carry, so it's kind of like a 50-50. So far in the playoff stages, of course, they got knocked down with a lot of all these picks. So I think it's pretty much okay. Looking at it, it's mostly positive coming in from the side of Resurgence here, as we are definitely on the lookout for maybe that Esmeralda to be brought into play alongside with this Selena. So, of course, very much interesting. So far, we haven't seen anything coming from the side of XCP, their substitute, which is why it's a 0% for now. But who knows, they might just be coming in with that secret weapon in this playoff. So later on, we'll definitely find out whether or not he'll be playing. But of course, I'm looking forward to see what's the sort of picks coming from the side of Orange Esports.
Yeah, so right now, let's go ahead and take a look at Orange Esports Reborn. Gideon, maybe you want to take this one for us.
I don't know if you guys haven't noticed yet, but those win rate numbers are looking real good here. And yes, even though Mom does prefer to go for the Cho and only has a 37.50% win rate on the Cho, he still is a significant a significant cog in this machine known as Orange Esports here. Gringo doing a great job on that Jawhead. A lot of teams have actually respect banded Jawhead just because Gringo has been so effective, and Jawhead being a great counter to a lot of, you know, hyper carries like Claude. He comes in with a blazing duet. He's already at risk for that huge wombo combo. And not to mention, you know, the big stars of the team, CeeLo doing his job especially well. And surprisingly enough, he's not the butt of the joke using the Uranus with a 50% win rate. And the same can be said about Aaron and Mal, except these guys are such hard carries, like straight up.
I totally agree with you, man. And we're going to be getting into more detail of that right now. Let's pull up the featured players on the screen from both of these teams. Contra, pick this one.
Well, we really want to compare. We have Sync as the mid lane as well as Taku, who usually plays tank, but for now, a lot of all these players are definitely going on those multiple roles as well. And one highlight to see is that Sync going on that Selena the other day, while Taku from tank, he's actually playing that Valier when the situation calls for it. And you can look at the GPM, of course. Sync, being a mid laner, he really knows how to actually rake up a lot of that sort of goal, and his PDA is slightly higher with a 4.9 rating right there. But looking at the DPM, of course, Orange Esports side definitely had a lot more damage output throughout the entirety of most of these matches.
Right. Now, there's one thing I want to discuss here, and it's the elephant in the room. We got to address it. Is Aaron's link. Do we want to see that or not at all?
100% yes. Yes. It's great to watch. It's great to play.
I definitely want to see that coming online as well, because like it's great to actually see a little bit more of that sort of flashy plays in the grand final days here to, of course, wrap up the entirety of the grand finals run. And of course, other than that, I'm looking forward to see that Bruno coming up online as well, because Orange Esports Reborn, they're one of the only few that keeps this as a priority pick on the marksman role.
Right. Now, as we speak, we have ourselves ready to bring Resurgence and Orange together for a quick live con. So let's throw it to them, and we'll be back with it.
So hello everyone. Again, my name is Abel and over from Orange Esports we have Aaron and over from RSG we have Kaiser P. Saya akan cakap bahasa Melayu dan juga bahasa Inggeris sebagai tanda hormat kepada kedua-dua tim. Now, without further ado, I will start with Kaiser P. Kaiser P, do you guys have anything to say to Orange Esports Reborn?
I will squeeze you like how I squeeze my orange in the morning.
Okay, so dekat sini Kaiser P cakap, hello Orange Esports, selamat datang ke sini. Kita akan ambil korang dan kita akan putar, kita akan squeeze sikit-sikit. Macam mana kita buat tiap-tiap pagi, tanpa Orange di pagi kita takkan segar. So, itu dia daripada Resurgence. Now, Aaron, selepas dengar apa yang Kaiser P cakap, ada apa-apa yang you nak cakap kepada Resurgence?
Untuk Resurgence, korang mesti banyak pressure nak kalahkan kita orang kan. Sebab korang tu team favourite. Kita orang ni team underdog, tak ada nak rugi apa-apa pun. So, lah.
Hey, nice words from Aaron. So, Aaron said basically it's like, hey, you guys must be so pressured. There must be so much weight on your shoulders because you guys are the favorite. We are the underdogs. We have nothing to lose but everything to gain. So good luck on you guys handling that kind of pressure because we're ready for you and we're ready for the match. So thank you very much Kaiser P and thank you to Aaron. I will let you guys get ready for your team. Right now, I will join the castle dance. Jadi ikutan, thank you.
Thank you so much, KZP, Aaron, and of course Lafel for that live con. They will squeeze orange like an orange juice. What did orange say exactly?
Well, actually, what they said is that you guys are the ones who are the top dogs, and we are the underdogs. We got nothing to lose, so let's take this fight head on. Like, it's a lot more respectful, but we're looking for trash talk. Come on, guys. Like, Resurgence, wishing him up. So, of course, we know who's the winner of these talks. But now, down to the action, sure. Really, who's going to be able to take it?
And you know what? Speaking of questions, Yudu has a question from you guys for this matchup. Because you guys actually answered in the comments. Our sexy, beautiful moderators will be picking your comments for amazing prizes. And the question of this match, Gideon and Contra, I want you to answer as well. Who will qualify into the grand finals and compete against Geek Fam, and why? Explain it fully in the comments. We'll be looking forward to your answers after the game. But Contra and Gideon, it's time for you guys, the panelists, to answer this question. Who is going to take this one? And why?
Well, Gideon?
No, you go first, Aaron. You go first.
No. Don't you guys...
You seem a little bit quiet. Don't toss the question.
Hey, Gideon. Hey,
All right.
I want to talk to Gideon. Thunder move. Gideon, hey.
Duck under. Don't worry. Camera's
I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna come over and make you answer this question, okay?
All right. No worries. I'll take care of this, Aaron. No worries. My personal prediction that will be shown on screen later on in the stream. I have to say Resurgence here. And here's why. Here's how. Hold up, Orange fans. Hold up. I know you've already got your pitchforks and torches, but you gotta understand that Resurgence right now is just on a different level. And yes, the patch does help out Orange Esports and it does increase their chances of actually winning this altogether. However, in my predictions alone, in social media, you can check it again. Resurgence, Geek Fam, EVOS were in my predictions. Unfortunately, EVOS is gone, but still, two of my predictions are still there.
Well, actually, I'm on Gideon's side as well. Like, not just that they're on their top form, and they definitely edge them in terms of, like, individual skills once again. Like, every single role, I can't say every one of it, but at least majority of it is actually at a really great rating. So, my take here is I'm voting for Resurgence.
I think the table is gonna be full on Resurgence right here.
Oh!
So Okay, I just want to say something. Even on the BM panel, I think the only person who went for orange is actually LaFell. Now, the
What?
thing is, I think we all have, yes, I think we all have our reasons for picking this. But there's one thing I'm really afraid of, guys. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I have not predicted orange in any of the matches. And when I talked to them, I even told that to Aaron. I was like, you guys are surprising me every match. And what I'm afraid of is that I can actually surprise me again in this matchup and win this and get my prediction wrong. And I think since now we have more time because we're jumping into draft soon, let's talk about this draft. Let's talk about why these guys are winning. So, correct me if I'm wrong, this is just from a viewer perspective right here. In most of the games that these guys are winning, aside from the strategy, they're picking Link. And I think one reason they're winning is if you look at every single match, regardless of if they were up against Axis, Boss 2, or EVOS, they are taking objectives a lot quicker. The gold lead is a lot higher, well, at the end of the game, but even from the start, it's higher than all these professional teams with so much experience. I'm thinking the lane helps a lot with that because of the mobility, right? Because you can go around really quickly and help with, pushing. So my question is, if you ban the lane, can Orange perform similarly, or if returns want to take away the link, do they have a response to this?
Well, to actually explain this, let's actually head in towards the draft order to actually break down how this one's going to go, because if they do open up that link, well, which will not happen, so Resurgence has definitely done their study, so I guess, like, we don't have to explain for us. Like, we don't have to explain for us, so sorry.
Well, personally, I think you have to understand that they mentioned it in their interview itself. They want to play 1-2-2, 2-1-2 as much as they can. So I think a lot of it is going to be around rotational power for the side of Orange Esports, while Resurgence most likely is going to play hypercarry meta, considering that LY4 is so demanding for those resources.
Yeah, and even if they don't actually rely on the LY4, there's still gonna be all the other players like Jason who are actually doing so much playmaking on the team. So for us, we're looking at Farsa as well as Shao. So of course, what do you feel about this initial picks coming from Orange Esports?
I like it a lot. I think they still have, sometimes one game they went with the Farsa. The other things they have is the Jawhead, the Tamos, the Harris. I'm wondering if they will be going for similar picks here as their games in the previous days. Yeah. So yeah, they're pretty much going with the similar draft from one of the games in yesterday. Day one. This is day one. They went with the Harris and the Farsa.
I don't know, I'm looking at these webcams and it kind of looks like Resurgence was sort of expecting this. I like seeing the player cams because you can kind of see the semi conversations. Yeah, the smirk.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're joking or they're just hyper prepared for what Orange has to bring to the table here. But as of right now, Orange most likely is going to look to ban out Claude this time to kind of force out Resurgence. But then they're giving way too much respect to Sana and getting rid of his Thanos more than worrying about LY4. I feel like Orange Esports feel like LY4 is always going to be a consistent factor.
Yeah, and over on Resurgence, they're panning out Bruno. So yeah, you were actually picking up something for us. So walk us through that.
So yeah, just as I was saying, so they went with a similar draft. They have the Farsa, they have the Jawhead, they have the Harris. The Bruno and Tamos is taken away from them. So there's one last tier that they need to switch out here. Do you guys think they'll be going for a marksman? Or do you think they'll be going for, I think they'll be going for a marksman or a tank. I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
Well, I do think that they would, and there we go. It's going to be a 1-1 right there for the side of Orange Esports Reborn. So, Gideon, all these picks are already on the board. What are you feeling about this?
I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit weird. Like Resurgence is kind of pivoted away. Not so much hyper carry oriented as I would like to have seen. But Orange Esports on the other side of the table, I think they've got a solid draft. The Wanwan pick is kind of interesting because they could have gone for some of the better marksmen. Like, again, they could have easily gone for the carry. They could have easily gone for the pot for something with a little bit more oomph, a little bit more mobility. They decided specifically on 1-1 just to kind of dance around Resurgence a little bit more. And the Granger pick from Resurgence, also very, very interesting. They could have easily picked up Quad, so expect to see a lot of engagements starting off with the Death Sonata from LY4.
100%. Now, this is gonna be our first matchup of the day, guys. It's gonna be Orange going up against Resurgence. This is gonna be the determining match that will see who will go into the grand finals. Right now, as you guys can see, we do have the beautiful Contra and Gideon to tell you the story of the game. So, boys, take it away.
Thank you very much for calling us beautiful, but you know what's more beautiful? This matchup itself. It's gonna be pretty much great as things are gonna get hit up. And Mob's gonna be starting off with a little bit of offense over on towards KCB. Of course, a little bit back and forth between them, but Mal's dropping really low, and that will be the first blood coming from Resurgence as Sync's going to be able to actually take him down. Alongside with Orange.
Oh, and they get another one as well. It looks like Taku is the next to fall, and this means that RSG have a green light to actually go and invade the blue buff for the side on Orange Esports' side. They can't really take this away, and now they're getting punished, coming in with some pretty big damage. They pull on through. Luckily, the spatial migration gets Sana completely out of that fight, but very good play and a very good start from Resurgence. It's already been 1 minute, and they've nailed themselves 2 kills and a buff.
Wow. To look at that sort of rotation, like, they thought that they would actually focus too much on those sort of early buffs at first, but Resurgence ended up with that 5-man mid move that got them that sort of the big advantage, and things are looking really great for them for a head start, especially when Jason as well as Sana here got themselves those sort of early kills. And of course, this seems to be one of the... Is this the first Universe that we're looking at the playoff right now being brought right in?
Literally the entire season, because like honestly, Guinevere is a very situational pick, because right now Resurgence, before they even got Guinevere, which was their last pick, they were looking for something to actually engage the fight, and Death Sonata is a great way to kind of like set up for the engages, but at the end of the day, Sana is going to be looking for those faster rotations just to hopefully catch off Orange Esports like they did in the first minute of the game. And unfortunately, we have a little bit of a technical issue, but that means we get the one and only Faraz. Welcome back, brother.
I'm sure none of the viewers are happy about that you're getting me back on the banner at the moment, because they just want to see the games. But again, like Gideon said, we do apologize. We'll be fixing these issues as soon as possible, we promise. Let's talk about the first one of the game. So, during the game just now, I actually went back, and this is the draft that I told you guys about that Orange picked up was similar to their day 1 draft. But the reason they won is they used the Farsa early game to actually have a lot of early aggression towards the enemy team. However, that didn't work out for them this time around. This time around it was Resurgence, as you guys saw that when it flew on. I'm not sure if it's something Orange expected. I think Orange wasn't as aggressive as they were when they were playing against Active. Maybe it could be a respect for Resurgence, but it seems like we're back to see if something happens here.
Mom survived
one
this.
hit, yep. There we
Yeah,
go.
he goes down. Yeah, he goes down really, really fast there. Overall, we did miss out the first couple of seconds to how that ended up. But let's look at the goal lead as of right now for the side of Resurgence. It looks like they managed to get one more kill off of Mom just now, and that just means that their team is going to be slightly ahead. But the level force is the most important here as KZP comes in with a wild charge. Unfortunately, no follow up by LY4. He does not have his Death Sonata off cooldown yet.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Farsa right now, who is still level 3. This is definitely going to be concerning, especially for the fact that even Farsa has pointed out that they really want to use that hyper aggression up in the early stage. But Fink and the rest of RSG, they marched towards the jungle, and they got their 4th kill. Now sending more abyssal arrows here to actually take good advantage while they clear every single one of these camps coming from Orange Esports' jungle.
Oh boy, this game is going to be a very tough one for the side of Orange Esports as RSG have full knowledge of camp timers, and Farsa coming up with a very big ultimate here, but it's only going to hit LY4, KZP in the back line to slow them down because Silo wants to get this pick, but KZP sticking very close to the walls to ensure that he doesn't get ejected for the second time in that fight itself. Resurgence disengaged very confidently, but again, remember, Turtle is going to be a very big objective that Resurgence wants to take away from Orange Esports Reborn, just to kind of stop them from actually trying to catch up in terms of EXP and gold.
That's right, and with that being said, members of Orange Esports are moving towards the bottom side, but it's going to be Aaron here who gets cut, but he's still dashing in and out of the fight with Salmon first, but he will be taken down by the Quinniver. Now only being bombed left inside the turtle pit, and he's getting surrounded by all members of RSG. It's a pure smackdown, and that's 1-3 turtle for Resurgence.
This means that Resurgence is going to have full control over the game for the next 5 minutes unless they make a critical mistake against Orange Esports. But considering the mistakes that RSG have made in the past within the playoffs itself, a lot of it has to do with impatience. So hopefully RSG, this is the first game up today. They still have a lot more to go. I'm expecting to see them, improve on just being patient with their movements, very tactical, surgical when they plan on their fights.
And it seems like they haven't made a single mistake at all, and looks like Sing's gonna be able to respond by actually putting some aggression here, while Aaron as well as Mom, they really want the turret, but here comes a little bit more of that sort of the dash coming in from Aaron.
What?
As he moves away, but oh, what is going on over the top side here? 1 versus 2, and Sing still gets the kill.
It looks like Sana is feeling on form. He 1v2s. Sing is the one who's feeling up to steam right now because he just 1v2 of Farsa as well as a Wan and a easy pickup for LY for taking advantage of an unsuspecting Mao. Looks like Orange Esports didn't have their morning coffee today because this is not looking good. Oh no, again Farsa is caught out. Chaku, the first to fall down, has Simon one instant pop just to kind of buy himself a little bit more time, but once again, Aaron doesn't have the damage to force RSG out of their bottom side jungle.
This seems to be the cleanest game of the entire playoffs here. 12 2-0, and it seems like Orange Esports Reborn doesn't have any answers at all. Right now, RSG pushing towards the top side here, and they need to actually make a move.
1-3-1 composition coming out from Resurgent. What's not to love? But Orange Esports, I think what they have to do at this point is they got to stick together and really isolate some members from the side of Resurgence. They might lose a couple of objectives, but you're 12-0 at this point. Honestly, Orange Esports could take anything right now.
Yeah, I think that if this goes on, things are going to be even worse when the mid lane gets crushed over. At least they do have that sort of the protection for now, just being brought down low, but Mom's going to be able to walk right in with no problem at all. But over the top side here, even more problems to come as we are looking at LY4 going unstoppable.
Yeah, it's not exactly the greatest to go against LY4, especially he's already level 35 kills, and there goes the spatial migration into the Violet Requiem. Luckily, Shunpo was already activated mid-flight. Heaney gets the third hit. Ajin Kundo, LY4 isolated by himself by the way of the dragon, and the unstoppable force for Silo comes on through, but Chaku forced to get out of the feather. Right, he has no choice. He isn't able to finish off the kill onto LY4. Resurgence, the goal lead is just too big.
Yeah, no, I didn't really expect this for the very first game itself. It seems like they are just looking to actually end things as quick as they can. Mel's gonna be backing off away. Boom! There we go! Double going in for the Death Sonata, and LY4 dominates them, and Crush opens the mid lane, and Resurgence now possibly have pretty much what it takes to also take down Silo. Silo's running for his life, and there we have it, legendary for LY4.
Now, I don't usually say this, but I definitely think that Resurgence have this game in the bag. There's just no way that they lose this particular situation. Salmon Force coming out from Aaron to kind of clear out the waves, but RSG playing a little bit more patient. Pulls back, wait, spatial migration, hits one. Aaron is the target. Sana walks away scot-free despite taking some big damage from the inhibitor turret. And yeah, there's pretty much no way that Resurgence actually loses this unless Orange could somehow capitalize on an overextension from RSG, but don't expect much here as Mom in the back line making sure that Sync is taking a little bit of damage. He gets hit by the Abyssal Arrow. This is going to be some easy picking for RSG with an easy follow-up of the spatial migration. RSG once again full control of this game.
Yeah, and of course, I also really love that Santa uses Violet Rectum for every great moment for setup, and for that, even KZP, that beautiful wall being set up with that wall charge knocks them perfectly in towards the hands of Resurgence in that sort of sense. And now we're looking at a 20-0 scoreline, 33k goal lead, and we've never seen this before. Like RSG, they having that hyper aggression, usually even if they're on the lead, they still have a little bit of that sort of the loophole somewhere in between where the other team could still try to actually come and punish that pickoff. But today, RSG is looking way too clean, and this might just be a solo kill, and they didn't even need Sync to be on board.
What I was telling you, there's almost no way for them to lose at this point, and I think Orange Esports, like, they know this. They know that they messed up in the early game. They gave Resurgence, they made two big mistakes against Resurgence. One, they weren't expecting. They got caught off guard. The second one, just unacceptable for the side of Orange Esports. Is standard, so I don't expect them to care too much about this particular game. Just move on to the next one, and game two, I'm pretty sure Orange is going to flog off those holes as soon as possible. But for now, it's just going to be an absolute destruction coming in from RSG's side now. Chunked out completely. Oh, this might be the play. Sana is the one thrown in, but he quickly uses the Violet Rectum into the Winter Truncheon, and he's still alive. He's managed to protect himself from a major play coming in from Orange Esports. They've already lost CeeLo and Aaron. This is it, as the Resurgence are going to look to try and close out this game against Orange Esports. But you can see the patience from RSG, making sure that they don't go too far. Jason under a lot of fire, but Mom looks like he didn't have that last bit of damage. If only he had the execute, and they're going to close this out. Congratulations to RSG. They're going to be taking one in superb fashion. Orange Esports, don't worry, they're going to be coming back stronger next game.
Wow, 25 overkills in the span of less than 15 minutes, and the Lord has not even arrived towards the pace, and the game was already won. Resurgence, with such a convincing victory, if they can do this again, they will be automatically going in towards the grand finals to meet with Geek Fam. But of course, now...
Bro. Was it the cleanest game or what? I mean, 25-0? Look at MY4. He's just like, look at him. He's just like chilling on his desk. And my God, did you see the Death Sonata aim from him when he was towards the base there? It was